Welcome back to the 2020 resolution series, where throughout January and February, I'm going to be releasing weekly videos describing the common mistakes that we can make in our resolution making process, how to properly set up a resolution, and the sequential steps into taking that lifestyle change and making it last for the long term. Now, last week I talked about taking that broader resolution of yours, doing some research from trusted, recognized sources, and then breaking down your resolution into different areas that you can focus on. This week, we are going to push it a little bit further, taking those areas and then further narrowing them down into more actionable steps. An archer cannot hit the bullseye if he does not know where the target is. Identifying a resolution and understanding the reasons why we want to make that resolution or make that change is going to give us a higher vision of what we want to achieve for ourselves. Focusing down on the different areas is going to help us progress through that resolution, but those two alone is not going to help us achieve the change. Change needs action, and action requires specific guidelines versus something that's very broad. That's why we need to focus on something called SMART goals. Now, SMART is an acronym. It stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-focused. And these factors are what you want your goals to have. In specific, you want your goals to be very descriptive. What is your goal? Maybe there is a where potential. Maybe there is a when, and then with whom. Measurable is basically how much and how often you will do your specific goal. Attainable. Is your goal realistic given your time and available resources? Relevant. Does it help you reach your overall long-term goal? Time-focused. Now, this might not be necessary for all your goals, but it basically helps you identify a time frame and a target date for goal completion. Now, SMART goals, especially when you've just heard about them for the first time, can be a little bit confusing. So here are some examples of goals that are poorly set up and how we can adjust those goals in order to make it SMART goals. Example number 1, I will eat more vegetables. This is not really specific or measurable enough. I mean, how much will you eat? What counts as more vegetables? Will you do this every day or every other day or how many times a week? Instead, what can be a better goal is, I will eat 1 cup of vegetables at every meal, including when I eat out. This is definitely a better version of that goal because it specifically outlines how much you're going to eat and at what conditions. Example number 2. I will go to the gym 5 times a week and work out for an hour on the treadmill. Now, this is definitely more specific and measurable and could be attainable if you have the money to go to the gym, but is it realistic for you right now? If you've never properly exercised in your life, does it make sense for you to suddenly go run on a treadmill every day for an hour? Instead, you can adjust your goal like this. I will walk outside for 30 minutes every weekday with my coworker. Example number 3, I will lose this much weight by this amount of time. Something like weight loss is not necessarily something you can control accurately, and you don't want to give yourself unnecessary grief if you don't get to where you want to be when the time is up. You can adjust your goal like this. To help with gradual weight loss, I will track my food intake and aim to reduce my overall calorie intake by 250 calories daily. Your task this week is to come up with at least one SMART goal related to one of the areas of focus of your New Year's resolution and to execute that SMART goal. Now, we are all different, and if you believe that you yourself can handle more than 1 or maybe 2 or maybe 3, etc. SMART goals without overwhelming yourself, then please feel free to do so and give that a try. And if you feel like working on 1 to 2 SMART goals at a time is enough for you, that's completely fine as well. I would rather you have 1 to 2 SMART goals to work on in maybe 1 or 2 of the areas of focus than having tons of SMART goals in 5 or 6 different areas and then overwhelm yourself and not get any of them done. Now, once you guys have your SMART goals, make sure to share them with me in the comments below. And next week, we are going to talk about how to overcome the barriers or overcome the challenges that we can face when trying to execute our SMART goals. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.